Great. Okay. Welcome to mobility. If you joined a little bit after I started babbling, you don't need anything, but if you want to go grab like a blankie or a pillow, especially if you don't like being on your knees for too long, that might be nice. If you know you normally use a yoga block and you have one in your house, you can certainly get that. I'm using the Noma Guide to Fermentation just to have a little thing to rest myself on when I need some balance help. Yeah, we'll figure it out. You can certainly unmute and say, Amelia, what, if you're not understanding something, because I'm not able to see you as well as normal since you're like that big on my screen. But we'll start seated. I like sitting on something a little bit of height just because of how my hips are. So if you want to get a blankie or a pillow, and we'll come to cross-legged. Cool. And if cross-legged doesn't work for you, you can sit on your shins or some other position. But let's start by bringing our shoulders up to our ears and then dropping them back down, up and down, up and down. And then we'll add our arms to that. So let's inhale, arms up overhead, shoulders really high up. Exhale, arms down, shoulders sink all the way down. Inhale, arms up overhead, shoulders come up high. Exhale, arms all the way down. One more time, inhale, arms up overhead. This time we're going to turn to our right side and our right hand's gonna find the ground behind us. Our left hand's gonna grab our knee. We're gonna do a little spinal twist here. So looking over our right shoulder. Inhaling here, sitting nice and tall. Exhale, spinning just a little bit farther behind you. All right, let's come back to center. We're gonna interlace our hands, push our palms forward, rounding your back, looking down at your navel. Releasing our grips, our hands will come behind us, maybe grabbing each other or just hanging out back there. A little back bend here. And then releasing our arms. Inhale, our arms come up overhead. Exhale, we'll go to the other side. So our left hand's gonna come behind us. Our right hand's gonna grab the outside of our knee, looking over our shoulder. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, spin a little bit farther behind you. Great. And inhale to forward. We're gonna rub our hands together. Get some nice friction going in there. Sorry if it's by the mic. Just warming up the palms of our hands. Once we feel a nice amount of heat there, we're going to bring our palms till they're about an inch in front of our eyeballs. Maybe feeling that little warmth, blocking out this weird world we live in. Depending on the size of your hands, your fingertips are probably pretty close to your hairline. So let's tap our hairline with all 10 fingers and then pressing into our scalp. We're gonna give ourselves just a little bit of a scalp massage here. We can start to move our fingers farther and farther back, messing up our hair, wiggling our fingers in circles, just getting a little blood flow into our head, rolling our fingers around to the back of our head. Once you come to the base of your skull, you can combine all of your fingers and kind of dig up in there, right behind your ears. There's some, I don't know if you've experienced any tension this week. I have. So we're gonna just dig our fingers into there, do some little circles. Maybe some pulling motions down the side. Hi, Cooper. Bye, Cooper. There's my dog. We're gonna interlace our fingers behind our neck and then pull forward. So going back to, so they overlap and pull forward. Oops, into the mic, sorry. Fingers to our shoulders, and then we'll come over our shoulders, pulling forward. Yeah, just squeezing out some tension there. Some nice touch, especially if you live alone. Maybe you've not been touched very much lately. It's good to even just touch ourselves. Yeah, any of that massage is great. We're gonna take our left hand in a C position and come to our right shoulder, squeeze our shoulder and then push it back. And then we're gonna come down our right bicep, just squeezing and kind of wringing out our arm, doing a nice circular motion all the way down to our elbow. Once we get there, we'll start up at our shoulder again, squeezing pretty tight and then doing a little ringing around our upper arm. Nice gentle massage. And this time we'll pass over our elbow and then do the same, squeezing, ringing down our lower arm. Just getting that blood flowing, bringing a little pressure and attention to our arm. Twice down our forearm of our right arm. Once you get to the wrist, we'll grab our wrist like a bracelet and do some circles with our right hand. Mine is crackling. That's great. And then we'll do some palm massage. So your left thumb can go into your palm and press up. There's my dog again. Good boy. Doing some circles around the outside of the palm of your hand, across the top. Then we'll do our pinky, squeezing down our right pinky, ring finger, middle finger, pointer, thumb, and pulling our fingers all the way back and forward and shaking out that hand. Cool. We'll go to the other side. So your right hand will make a C, grabbing your shoulder. We'll wind it over, working our way down. Just working out any tension that's in there. Squeezing our arm. Once you get to your elbow, we'll start again at the top of our shoulder. Nice little circular squeeze, self-massage. Once you get past your elbow, we'll do our forearm, just kneading out your arm. I've been doing a lot of baking this week, got lots of time on my hand. We made pizza and we made muffins, very exciting. Working down our forearm 2 times, and then once we come to our wrist, grabbing it like a bracelet, making some circles with our left hand, one way and the other. What a helper. And then we'll do a palm massage. So your right thumb goes into the center of your palm, kind of rubs it out, rub around the outside of your palm and the inside. All over. And then we'll go down our individual fingers. So squeezing down your pinky, your ring finger, your pointer. Oh, I skipped a middle finger. Don't forget to middle finger. And your thumb. Shake that all out. And we're gonna get to our legs. If you wanna just sit here or hang out, you can. If you wanna get your body moving, we are gonna do an optional sun salute. So you'll come forward onto all fours. I'll go sideways so you can see me. There's a dog in the way. Tuck toes under, butts up high, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to the top of a push-up, lowering down to your tummy, coming up to whatever sort of back bend feels good to you, and then back to all fours, and we'll sit down. So we'll start with the right leg out in front of us to spend some time with our right leg. So we'll make some nice loose fists and just start punching our quad, just pounding up and down. You know, like when people get massages in sitcoms, they always get massages this way, and it's good for you. A little tapotement, getting the blood flowing. We can go to the inside of our leg, up and down, and the outside of our upper leg. If you can hit the back, certainly go for that. And then we'll take our fingers spread really wide and just kind of squeezing our hamstrings, getting all 4 fingers in there, sort of rubbing around. I was trying to figure out, maybe next week we'll come up with some sort of roll a ball of socks into a tennis ball so that you can massage your back with the trigger point therapy we like to do. Because I know not everyone has a lacrosse ball in their house. I have a lot of tennis balls, but you might not. All right, we'll leave the top half of our leg and go to the bottom half of our right leg. So we're going to start by interlacing our fingers and then bringing the heel of our palms to either side of our shin and just squeezing in, working our way down our shin, giving it a nice squeeze on either side of your shin bone. Go up and down a few times here. Ugh, I got some tension in there. Yeah. And then we'll spread our fingers a little bit wider so our thumbs can reach around the back of our calves and squeeze our way down, just digging your thumb into your calf. All the way down to your ankle. A few times of that. And then I like to use my loose fists to kind of do circular motion down my leg. If you like the pounding of your leg, you can do that too. I feel like I just hit bone more often there. So for me, like a little scrubby, like I'm getting a stain out kind of motion feels good around the back of my calf and the sides of my legs, but your mileage may vary, whatever feels good to you. Yeah, cool. Next up, we'll do the other side. So let's move over to our left leg and we'll start with some loose fists, just banging out the top of our leg. It's so weird not to hear any response from you because you're all silent, which is just fine, but I'm adjusting. Here we are, banging up and down our leg. The sides of our leg and the back of our leg. Yes. And then big open fingers, grabbing our legs, giving some nice little kneading massage motions in there. Ugh. There's a lot happening. And then moving over the knee, we'll come to our lower leg. So we started with our fingers pretty tightly interlaced and the heels of our palms squeezing into the sides of our shins, working our way up and down our lower leg to our ankle. Yeah, do those a couple times. This dog is very much in my way, but that's okay. And then your fingers interlacing can spread out a little bit so your thumb can reach around your calf, working into the back of your lower leg. There's not like a wrong way to do this. If it feels really ouchy, probably don't do it, but you can do circles, you can do squeezing, you can do like I don't know what kind of motion that is, shoveling. That's all I can think of right now. And then the gentle fists, either the banging or the sort of scrubbing action we talked about, up and down the sides. Ooh, and around the back. Yes. Nice, gentle self-love. All right, we are going to take both legs, shoot them out straight in front of us, and do some ankle warm-ups. So we're just going to flex our feet, toes towards us, and point our toes away. Flex and point, flex. And then we'll do some circles, spinning them one way and the other. So good. All right. Optional vinyasa here. If you want to stay here, that's fine. Otherwise, again, we'll come forward to all fours, tuck your toes under, butts up high, downward facing dog, forward to the top of a plank, lowering down to your tummy. Oh, I'm too close to the screen. A little upward facing dog or whatever back bend feels good to you. And then coming back, all fours, into seated. From here, we'll start with our right leg again, and we are gonna do some foot massage. So if you wanna take your socks off, cool. No one's there to smell your feet, but your roommates or lovers who already know. Or you can keep them on if you don't like touching your feet. So we'll grab our foot and both thumbs will go into the base, the arch, across the sole, just some nice pushing into the center of our foot. Yeah, I like to do a motion from my heel towards my toes. So maybe coming to the balls of your feet and doing some circular motion there can feel nice. Back towards the heel, I like to do, how can I show you, some squeezing of the Achilles. I don't know how to hold myself on TV. There we are. So good. And then bending all your toes backwards and forwards. This might gross people out, so you don't have to do it if you don't like it, but I like to stick a finger in between each individual toe to stretch them out. You can also just play with moving individual toes around. I haven't yet committed to buy those yogi toes. Have you seen those? They're like pedicure inserts that people wear around their house. Soon. Maybe I'll make them myself. That's where I'm at right now. So good. All right, we've got this right leg picked up and we're gonna rock it back and forth. So you can hold the right knee with your right hand and the right foot with your left hand. You can also cradle it like a real baby if that's in your flexibility. Some very nice self-love to our leg here. Caring for it, caring for yourself, and logistically just moving your femur around in your hip socket in a way that we don't normally get to experience without gravity, just with yourself doing the work. So good. Okay, once we have our little leg baby rocked fast asleep, we're gonna take this right leg and bring it all the way behind us. Maybe you shouldn't wear black pants. Next time we'll know. But so we're in a 90-90, which is kind of like a pinwheel or a swastika in the nicest version of traditions those exist in, with a nice 90-degree angle of both of our knees, and our right leg is behind us. This might feel kind of weird to begin with, so if you want to just hang out here, that's fine. If you want to find a little motion of your pelvis, rocking from your front left knee to your back right ankle, back and forth, can kind of work some hip stuff out here. If you've got like a pelvis that moves in the world and you can do some circles here, that can feel cool. If you're not a person who intuitively has an inner Beyonce, because I don't really, sometimes moving your right arm around in some great big circles can like help move your hip around in a way that you're faking out yourself so you're not thinking about hip circles. Yeah, look at all you beautiful witches stirring your witchy brew. So good. All right, we'll leave those circles and just do a little dynamic movement here. This is probably the most fitness we'll be doing. So we're gonna try to come up to standing on our shins and then sitting back down. If you've got your block nearby that you wanna use as a little prop to do that, you certainly can. You can also have your hands in the air or just support you, just a little up and down action here, feeling how your legs move around in your hips in this position. Yeah, nice. Good hips, everyone. Oh, it's so fun to watch you. Great. We'll come to stillness and let's play with this a little bit more. I think it's fun. So this back right foot, we're gonna think about it and we're gonna pick it off the ground. Oh. So that's like an internal rotation of your right leg in a weird way of engaging your muscle. If it's, yeah, maybe doesn't have any range of motion yet, that's okay. And we'll let our foot come to stillness and then our right knee, we're gonna bring up and down. Whoa, so good. Oh God. I feel like I talk to myself all day long anyway, and it's really great to have a reason to. Cool, we'll let that right leg come to stillness. Our left hand, excuse me, buddy. Our left hand is gonna find the ground behind our left butt cheek. And we're gonna put some weight into it to the point that we can pick both our hips off the ground. Our pelvis is completely off the ground. We're in a little back bend here. And then our top arm, which is our right arm, is going to do some great big circles. Our head can relax back. If you don't want to look at me, that's great. So we can spin our arm in both ways. If staying on this arm is not good for you, you can certainly sit back down on your hips. Otherwise, we'll do a couple more circles here in this funny back bend, and then your pelvis can come down to the ground. Your raised right hand can reach over and meet your left hand, buddy. And then we're gonna walk away from our hips, coming to a fold that's twisted back here. So if you wanna prop a pillow or a dog under your head, those are options, or you can stay upright, but just a forward fold that we're gonna hold for a while. Oh my God, this dog. Yeah, so good. Stay there while I read my cheat sheet about everything else I had programmed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, using the strength of your arms, we'll walk ourselves back up to upright. We'll spin ourselves forward. We're gonna come to a double pigeon. So to arrange ourselves that way, our current chin that's in front of us, we wanna make sure it's parallel to the front of the mat. And then our back right leg, we're gonna pick up, swing all the way around, and stack on top. And in a full double pigeon, our top heel is gonna be slightly outside of our bottom knee. So like a cross-legged is like this, and then the double pigeon is crossed really far, so our shins are right on top of each other. I don't know why I wore black pants. Oh no, my screen just went away. Cameraman, we'll see. I think you're all there. So we're in our fire log or our double pigeon with a really nice flex of our ankle, and then forward fold over. Yes, so good. I can see you at least. This might feel stuff in your hip creases or your butt or your lower back. I'm gonna play with my screen because I went away and I don't know what happened. Huh. Oh, well, I'm still there, so that's good. I don't know why I'm not showing up on my screen, but if you can hear me and do what I'm saying, that's good. Can you see me? Can you give a thumbs up if you can see me? Yes, okay. I don't know where I went. It just said that I got logged out, but apparently that's a lie. All right, well, I don't know where I am, so please unmute and holler at me if I go off the screen for some reason. Thank you for your patience. We can sit ourselves upright, and then this top leg, we're gonna pick up and shoot out in front of us. And so you can readjust yourself if you don't like quite where you stood up. So your left sole of the foot is near your right thigh. We'll sit up nice and tall here and then forward fold for an extended stretch in this position now. I'm so confused. All right, I'm gonna play with this a little bit more. Hopefully I don't log myself out. Okay. Well, from here, we'll inhale ourselves up to upright, and we got to do all that stuff on the other side. So if you want to, again, hang out seated, that's fine. Otherwise, another optional vinyasa, you can come forward to all fours, curl your toes under, butts up high. Justin, do you want to try to fix this? Forward to the top of a plank, lower down to your tummy, some sort of back bend, toes curl under, butts up high, downward facing dog. Come back to a seat. And we'll start with our feet on the other side, which is your left leg. So socks off if they're still on. My house is a little cold. And we'll begin our massage of this foot. So thumbs into the arch of the left foot. wiggling it around. Pressing from heel to ball of foot. Yeah. Spending some time, maybe doing some circles on the ball of your foot, maybe on the heel, maybe squeezing along your Achilles, the back of your ankle, or rubbing the front of your ankle. All those little bones in there can feel good to be rubbed around a little bit. Working our way to our toes to bend our toes all the way back, all the way forward. Oh, I got some cracks out of those. Hear that? Gross. If you like that, stretching out your toes, you can interlace your fingers and your toes. Marika sent me an image once that was like friends interlacing their toes together. It was really gross. So you can Google that later when you're bored. Wiggling these toes around. So good. And then we'll pick up our whole left leg like a baby. Oh, look at all those leg babies. You can certainly give it a full hug or just hold your left foot with your little right hand and your left knee with your left hand. Rocking it side to side, feeling some nice range of motion in our dear sweet leg baby. So good. No idea? All right. Yeah. So then we're gonna take this left leg and wrap it all the way behind us into a 90-90 on the other side. Your hips might be different. Mine are quite different. So finding some comfort here. If you do need to sit on a block or a pillow or something, that's totally fine too. Otherwise, we're gonna ride this rocking horse that is our pelvis. That's weird. Back and forth. Yeah, yeehaw. And then maybe find some circles. Again, like stirring your big witchy pot can help make circles with your pelvis in a way that is a little bit less thinking about pelvic circles. I don't know. Yeah. Cool. And now that we've stirred our giant brew, we're gonna stand up on our shins and then sit back down on our butt. Again, you can certainly keep your hands on the ground or use your water bottle or whatever prop you have. So good. And next time we come to seated, we'll think about this mermaid tail we have here and flip our little foot, our back left foot off the ground. Squeeze in your butt, squeezing your small of your back, all your bits. All your bits, so good. Let that foot come to stillness and then try to pick up your left knee, a little weird book opener here. Yes, such weird stuff with our body, so good. Great, and then finding stillness with that. Our right hand is gonna find the ground behind our hips. I'm gonna press into that hand to lift both hips all the way off the ground. Do some great big arm circles. Oh golly, I think I maybe said left and right wrong. We had a big debate about like mirroring and double mirroring to try to make it so that I could just say the side you saw. You're all following along beautifully. Good job. Big stretch, circling the arms both ways. And as you're ready, your hips will come back down to the ground and your left hand will come over to meet your right hand, walking away from you for a twisted forward bend on this side. Feel again free to prop up some pillows or blankies under you if you want to find a way to make that a little bit more comfortable for you. Inhaling and exhaling here. So good. All right, using the strength of our arms, we'll push our torso up to upright, bringing our torso to face forward. This right shin is going to find parallel with the front of our mat and our torso. And then we're going to pick up our left leg, spin it around, stack our fire logs on top of each other. Nice sturdy flex in your ankles. Nice flex, but okay. I don't know. And then a little forward fold here if that feels good, or you can also stay upright if this is enough of a stretch. You can certainly put a pillow or a blanket somewhere underneath your knees if they're feeling not balanced here, or just have a looser cross-legged if that's what you need today. Yeah. If your mind ever starts to wander away from this, that's fine. There's a lot going on. But if you want to stay in the present moment, thinking about your breath is that cliched yoga thing that actually makes sense. So thinking about your inhales and exhales, feeling your rib cage, maybe with a forward fold, the back of your ribs you can feel expand. Yeah. So good. All right, and we will bring our torso back to upright, and then we're going to take our top leg and shoot it long out in front of us. You can certainly readjust if you don't like where you ended up, and the sole of your right foot's going to find your left thigh or somewhere in there. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll forward fold over this extended leg. Should probably feel it in the hamstring of your right leg. You could also feel it in the calf or the low back, or maybe even the hip of the bent right knee leg. Yeah, lots of body parts here. This isn't CrossFit, so you don't have to like max effort your forward fold. Just letting gravity do the work and relaxing into this is fine. Not like a grab your leg and yank yourself as far forward. But you do you. That's fine too. All right, bringing ourselves to upright. We'll meet in tabletop. Again, if you want to do a little vinyasa, you are welcome to curl toes under, butts up high, come forward to plank, lower down, little back bend, and then find yourself in tabletop, or you could have just hung out there or got a drink of water or pet your dog. All of that is good. From here, we're going to come into sleeping swan, which is a variation of pigeon. So if pigeon is your jam and you want to just do that, that's fine. We'll start with the right leg. And I like to come into sleeping swan. I'm on all fours. And then my right knee is going to sneak forward till it's pretty close to my right wrist. And then I'm going to try to turn this heel forward just a little bit. And then from there, my back knee is going to slide down. So you're kind of in a pigeon, but it's a little bit of a lazier pigeon. And then you can also let all of your weight flop over to your right butt cheek, if that feels good. So in a pigeon, we're like much more about getting our shin perpendicular or parallel to the front of the mat and keeping our hips parallel. And the sleeping swan is like a little bit more of a cozy hangout pose. So either is fine, but I like the sleeping swan for our casual Monday chill. You can be upright if that feels good, or you can also, you know, stack your props if you want to rest your head on your forearms or something. Otherwise, just kind of relaxing forward into wherever you are in this variation is great. Gently, sleeping swans. We're going to switch to the other side. So we'll come back to all fours to get into the other position. You can certainly get there some graceful way or just fall over onto your butt, and that's also a fine choice. And then from all four tabletop position, our left knee is going to scoot forward to behind our left wrist. Maybe that heel will come forward a little bit, and then our right knee will slide back a little bit. Maybe you'll fall over onto your left butt cheek. Your hands can walk out in front of you. You can certainly stack them or use a pillow or a blankie to rest your head. Finding some place you can hold for a minute or two. As you're ready, we're going to come onto our stomachs. So you can certainly come up into all fours. Oops, kicked my dog. And then find our way all the way onto our tummy. From here, we're going to come into half a frog, half of a king frog position. So what that means is, I'll do my left side first because it's a little bit more visible. So you're laying on your stomach. I like to have my cheek on my hands, not on my dirty floor. But then your left knee is going to come up to the side as far up as it can go. So I'm like this, but on my tummy. Yeah. Once you get there, if you want to add a little bit more of a bend, you can think about bringing your left elbow over towards your left knee. So you're still on your tummy, but bent sort of like, is it Kokopelli? Whoever that guy is who's like this, but laying on your stomach. Yeah. I think this is called flipping fish. Not entirely sure. Or half of a king frog. Either of those are fine and kind of weird. But those of you I can see, you look good. Sometimes a full king frog, which is just both knees all the way up to the side, can feel really intense, but one half at a time feels like a lot more manageable. So that's where we're at today. Whatever's manageable seems good to me. And if you have the bend in your upper back, we'll come back to a neutral spine and then send our left leg down behind us. Maybe wiggle your hips a little bit to get your pelvis back to neutral on your stomach. And then we'll just go straight to the other side. So this time the right knee is going to come all the way up as far up to the side as it can go. So I am resting on the inside of my right foot, but a pretty gentle ankle, not like a flex or a point there. And then to make it a more full bend in your half frog, you can bring your right elbow towards your right knee here. Sorry, I'm talking into my chest on the floor, so hopefully you can hear me. Those of you I can see look like beautiful half of a king frogs. So good. If you find tension occurring in this, sometimes it can help to release the tension, to squeeze the area around it and then release it. So if you get a little bit of a butt squeeze here, you can squeeze your glutes a little bit harder and then try to let them go. And that can sometimes relax you deeper into it. But if you feel a stretch without like a tension tweak here, that's probably the right place to be. Okay, if you have the upper back bend, we'll bring our torso back to shooting straight out from our pelvis, and then bring our right leg back to meet our left leg. Wiggle our pelvis around here if we'd like. We're gonna end up on our back. If you wanna do one more vinyasa, you can bring your palms underneath your shoulders, push yourself up, curl those toes under, finding one final downward facing dog, forward to top of a plank, lower through, a little back bend, downward dog again, or you can skip all that jazz and just found yourself on your back. Move my mic pack out of the way. On our back, we're gonna hug our knees into our chest. Give them a good squeeze here. Rock a little side to side, and then we're gonna bring our knees, both knees all the way to the right side of our body. Our left arm extends long, looking over our left shoulder here. You can certainly stack your right arm on top of your legs as a little weight if you'd like. And then bringing our gaze to center, our knees will come up through center, across to the left side of our body. Our right arm will reach out long. You can look over our right shoulder. Your left arm can be a little weight on top of your legs if you like that. Then bringing your gaze back up to the ceiling, knees back up to the center, to your chest. Give them another little hug in. You can come to a happy baby here, which is grabbing your shins, the inside or outside of your legs, or just behind your knees. Rocking a little side to side here like a happy, happy baby. Oh, yeah. One more squeeze of your knees in, and then we're gonna extend our legs out long, our arms to the side of our body. If you wanna adjust yourself here to find a happy Shavasana, you can certainly try tucking each shoulder blade underneath you, maybe flopping your legs back and forth a little bit, making sure your fingers are relaxed. Your eyes can stay open or they can flutter shut for a moment. Taking a minute of stillness, of not doing anything, but just being here. Mhm. Mhm. And you could stay here forever. I don't care. But if you want to start moving, you can rock your head side to side a little bit, maybe nod a yes or no. I like to reach one arm up overhead to make myself a pillow for when I roll over to one side so my head can rest on it, curled up in a fetal position for a second or two. Nice breath here, getting ready to sit up, pushing yourselves to an upright position. Oh, my dog drooled on my yoga mat. That's great.